Hello, everyone. I am sorry for the lighting. It is horrible. I apologize for that, but I'm gonna give it a couple of seconds to see how many of you guys jump on the live. I'm doing this from my room because it's nice and quiet, but I might try to move my phone so I can get a little bit better lighting. It's kind of a dark corner. Hello, when you jump on, tell me where you're watching from. And as a little icebreaker, tell me what your favorite scent is. Let's see how many of us have the same scent in common. I'll give it a second or two to get started so that I can go ahead and get started when some of you guys have jumped on. Give me 1 second to just lock my room so that my kids don't come in here. Oh, sorry. I'm gonna see if I can move my phone. Hopefully, like, I don't make my stand, like, okay, I think that's a little bit better lighting. Oh yeah, that's better. Ooh, I don't know what my husband's doing. Say hello when you're jumping on. I have like a little make-believe stand here, and so hopefully it will work as long as I don't move a lot. But we'll go ahead and get started in like 15 seconds. Because I don't want to keep those of you that are on the live. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and as people jump on, hopefully they will catch the replay. If you do watch this on the replay, please comment replay so that we know that you watched it. My name is Liz Mercado. I am a director in Sarasota, Florida. I've been with Scentsy for almost 12 years. I'll be celebrating 12 years this fall. And I'm gonna start out by telling you guys a little bit about my story because it has a lot to do with what I'm gonna talk to you guys about. So when I joined Scentsy, I honestly joined because I fell in love with the product. I didn't really know what Scentsy was until I decided to host a party. And the only reason why I decided to host a party was because my friend posted on Facebook that we could get free stuff. And I was going through a really dark time in my life with grief, depression, and I longed for like having people over. So any excuse to have people over, like I would jump on it, whether it was a holiday, a birthday, anything. So having people over and then getting free stuff, why not? When she brought Scentsy into my living room, I literally was like shocked that I had never picked up a catalog before. I had heard about it from friends, but I had never really understood what it was. And I have always loved fragrance. I have always loved candles and scented things. So I was really shocked that I had not like found it sooner. I quickly fell in love with the products. I quickly fell in love with Echo, which is my favorite scent ever. And so as I was getting ready to close out my party, which was, let me tell you guys, a complete flop. I had to do like a second party at my mom's house to get like enough to get my stuff for free and half off. I talked to my husband about it and he was like, you know what? Why not? Go ahead and join. It took me 3 months to be able to join, to save up the money, to be able to jump, you know, all in. And when I did, I literally carried my catalogs and my testers everywhere. And my testers were like big. They were huge. Hello, ooh, mystery man. So I carried those with me and I got an email. I remember when I got my email saying, congratulations, you just hit Shooting Star. And I was like, what is Shooting Star? Like, what are you talking about? So I hit Shooting Star. I ended up hitting Sensational Start level 2. And I got my first recruit within like the first 3 weeks of being with Scentsy. Now, I didn't really know what leading a team looked like. I had done other direct sales and kind of failed miserably and never really had a team. So I didn't really know what that looked like. My sponsor at the time was really new. She had just joined a few months before I had joined. So we were kind of learning together. Hello, sister. And so we started working together, started doing everything that we could. We, when I fast forward a little bit, like about a year, I found out I was pregnant, and we had my daughter, and we moved to Florida. And so at the time I was in Utah with my sponsor and my team. And so I moved to Florida, and I have no one here from my team, no one from my uplines team. I know no one. Started quickly making friends. I never stopped going to events. Events were my thing. World Tour, Spring Sprint back then was my jam. And so my sponsor decided to tell me that she was quitting. And so I was very discouraged because, I liked working alongside her and working with her. And so I rolled up, because I love Scentsy. I was not giving it up. And I rolled up to someone that we had met each other, but we didn't really do Scentsy the same way. We had very different whys. And so I expected a type of leadership from her that she was not giving, right? And sometimes that could be difficult in this business because we can't hold people to our expectations, right? But I was quickly discouraged by her leadership skills. And so I chose to continue my Scentsy journey on my own. And I went to a world tour where I met an amazing director at the time who took me kind of under her wing, and we talked a lot, and she was very straight up with me. And one thing that she said when I was complaining about my sponsor not doing all these things was, she asked me, do you do it for you or do you do it for her? And I said, well, duh, I know that answer. I do it for myself. And so when she said that, she goes, then why does it matter what she does or does not do? And that really resonated with me, and it made a big click and changed my Scentsy journey forever. Now, at this time, I've been with Scentsy for about, I want to say almost 4 years. And I was at lead. You could say that I was stuck at lead because I was at a lead consultant from the second month that I joined Scentsy until about 4 or 5 years that 4 years that I was in with Scentsy. And the reason why I was at a lead and I was kind of feeling stuck there was because I didn't really understand what being paid at title meant, what it really took to promote, and the importance of getting paid at title. So that's what I'm going to talk to you guys about today. Let's start with the why, or the what. The what referring to what you need to get paid at title. So to know what you need to get paid at title or even to promote, you really need to work on understanding the compensation plan. And I know that the compensation plan does not come easy to a lot of people, but we have one of the best compensation plans that I have seen out there. It is it's basically 3 focuses that we have to focus on: PRV, active frontline, and our group wholesale or team wholesale volume as you grow in leadership. So understanding what you are required to have for your PRV. And that one's kind of easy because everyone's required 500 PRV to get paid a title or to promote. So that one is not really something that you have to kind of keep up with different titles. Even when you are lead, director, star director, or superstar director, or any title in between, you only need 500 PRV to meet that requirement. Now, active frontline. How many personally sponsored frontline do you need to get paid at title? This one does depend on the different titles that you're at. So it might be 1, it might be 2, it might be 3, so on. So being able to look at your title or the title that you're trying to promote and recognize, okay, I need a frontline. I apologize. My sister is calling me and she's in the ER. So let me just tell her to call my husband. Hold on. I'm so sorry. Sorry. Family matters. She'll call my husband and update him. So knowing your active frontline is very important, because that's gonna, like, you don't want to miss getting paid at title or promoting because of an active frontline, especially when they're so close to being active. So focusing on your personally sponsored, and then your group wholesale or team wholesale volume. So kind of understanding, okay, like to get paid at lead as a group, collectively, we need 1,000 wholesale volume, or as, I don't know if I can remember them all, Star 2,500, Superstar 6,000, Director 10,000, and so on. Now, when you hit Director and above, you'll have to also balance your group wholesale and your team wholesale, because it comes into play when you have other leadership directors under you. But looking at that compensation plan, you can really break that down and really know what the requirements are. Okay, the why. Why do we want to get paid at title? Well, first of all, when we get paid at title, we get bonuses. So that's extra money coming in for us doing our job of being a leader, right? Training our team, helping them when they get started, etc., right? You're also leading by example, right? Because it is so hard to tell our team to do something when we're not doing it, right? We don't want to push our team to get paid at title or to promote to something just so that we can promote. And then the rest of the time, we're like just over here like, oh, maybe if I'm active, it's great. If I'm not active, it's, not important. Because then they're going to be like, well, why should I do this? We want to lead by example. And then obviously the more that we do it, the easier it becomes. I remember when getting paid at lead and star and superstar was such a challenge for my team and I. I remember literally pushing a whole month to get 1,000 wholesale volume or 2,500 wholesale volume. And some of you guys might be at that same spot. And now, as I am a director and I've been a star director, there's times where I'm like, whew, we got that in one day. The more that we do it, the easier it becomes, right? The more that we work on having our 500 PRV, pushing for that 2,000 PRV to get that $2,000, not $2,000, sorry, that bonus on the extra PRV. As we're working our business, right, the easier it becomes, okay? The how. It might be a struggle, right? Some of you guys might be like, Liz, you're saying all this stuff, I'm doing all this stuff, but I don't really know what to do. I'm feeling stuck, or I don't know how to do it consistently. Well, when we focus on the 3 legs of success, which is sales, PRV, sponsoring, and training our team, they kind of work to continue to grow, right? So sales, we have to really focus on those income producing activities. I spent a lot of time when I was struggling in my business, doing samples that I would not pass out. I was a stay-at-home mom for 7 years, so I worked my business at all times. And so I had time on my hands to make the cute samples and the labels and, everything that I saw in all these amazing groups that we have out there. I literally would do. And side note, we were gardening this morning, so my hands are was an ordeal. So I apologize. But I literally got distracted with all the fluff. And the fluff is great. The fluff sets us apart, right? The fluff helps us to do extra things for our customers. But we have to really understand, with the time that I am able to invest in my business, right? Whether it's an hour, 20 minutes, 2 hours, a whole day, right? We all have different schedules. What do I need to focus on that will bring in income, that will bring me in sales? Are those samples a good return on your investment, right? If you're spending a whole Saturday doing samples and then you're not even having time to pass these samples out, they might not be a good return on your investment. Maybe instead you do one set of samples that you know that you can get out, and you do some follow-up, or you go live, or you showcase one of our new products, right? So figuring out how to focus on those income producing activities, parties, follow up, getting events or fundraisers, anything that can turn into a sale, right? Sponsoring, obviously, keep offering the opportunity. Keep talking to those people on your dream list. Every time that you close out a party, offer that host exclusive kit. When we have these amazing specials like this $35 special, offering that $35 special. I wish that when I joined, they would have had a $35 special. I probably would have joined a lot sooner. So sometimes people are like wanting to join, but $99 is a lot of money for some people. And training. You might think, man, I'm still learning. I can't train my team. Show them what you're doing. How are you working your business? That is the easiest thing that you can share with your team. Oh my gosh, I'm doing my thank you packets for my customers. Look what I did. Oh my gosh, I made some samples today. Look how cute they are. Like super easy. I got them done XYZ. I got my baggies from Walmart or I got them from Amazon. Oh, look, you guys, this is how I'm searching for events in the area. Give them the tools that you have to grow in their business, but just do it as you're working your own business. You don't have to sit here and do all these elaborate trainings, right? You can literally just show what you're doing. Share the Scentsy trainings that Scentsy already provides. Scentsy gives us so many tools at our fingertips. Go on YouTube and share trainings from YouTube, even trainings that you're watching to better your business. One thing that we did during 2020, we started watching, we would grab a YouTube training. Every week somebody would take a turn, grab a YouTube training. We would all watch it and then we would jump on a Zoom and talk about it. What was your key takeaway? What did you learn? What are you going to take away from this video? And it really helped us to see different points of view. And it really helped us to connect, right? Because connecting is very important when it comes to training your team. And lastly, staying consistent through the ups and downs. This is more of, I'm going to share some experiences that I've had because it's not really a training part. But I remember when I went to Austin SFR in 2019, I was a brand new director. I think I had promoted in April of that year. I was a new director and I had gone to Anaheim the year before. And that year, Orville's speech, I remember if it was yesterday when he said, do not spend family money on Scentsy, spend Scentsy money on family. And that hit home because I was a stay-at-home mom. My husband was our main source of income and I was spending so much money on buying all the collections. This is when we first started having an LTO here, an LTO there. And I was spending all this money on all these collections and I wasn't getting a return on my investment. And so I was using credit cards. And when he said that, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to stop. So we went to the welcome party and I looked at my numbers. Now I had been traveling that whole day. So I looked at my number and I knew that I was going to fall into the queue. And for those of you that might not know what that means, when you are a director, when you promote to a certain title and you're not getting paid a title, you're still at that title, right? You're still a lead, star, or superstar consultant. When you go to director, you have 6 months, right? You have 3 months as a director and then 3 months in what they call the queue to hit those requirements of being paid a title. And there's a whole lots of reasons for that. So if you do not understand it, you can probably ask your superstar director or your star director to get more information about that. But I had promoted to director in April and I had not hit director's paid at title numbers. And so I knew that night I was going to fall into what they call the queue. And so I happened to sit down during the welcome party and look at my numbers and I was $150 away. So close, so close. And everyone was like, let's just order $150. Just go in. And I was like, I'd have to put it on a credit card. And Orville's words came to my mind. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that to my family. If I don't hit it tonight, if nobody else on my team puts an order in, if nobody goes into my website and places an order and I fall into the queue, I fall into the queue. So the next morning I woke up and I was in the queue. It did feel a little bittersweet, you guys, it did. But I trusted Orville's advice. And so I wasn't discouraged. I didn't let it bring me down. I said, okay, what do I need to do now to get back? And that's what I focused on. Not only did I kick the queue right after SFR, so like that was July, so like in August, but I had my first director that October. Okay? When I get my first director to promote, right? This is now 2019. We go to World Tour and then the shutdown came, right? And there was hyper growth. Lots of people on my team were now staying at home. They were working their business. We were joining on Zooms. We were doing all these things. And I have my second star director promote. And that month, I did not quite hit it to star director. But I didn't let that stop me. The next month, I promoted to star director. Sorry. And that fall, I ended up having 5 total directors under me. Not directly frontline, but they were 5 directors. I had 2 first generation, 2 second, and 1 third generation. And so we were excited. We were booming, right? But with the comeback of that hyper growth, some of them started losing their titles. And I kept my title, but I wasn't getting paid at title. It went back to that, what we talked about, the what, right? The PRV, I was meeting that. The active frontline, I was meeting that. But I wasn't meeting that group wholesale and team wholesale volume. But because I had not fallen into the queue, because I was meeting director requirements, I still had my star director title. And so I was doing everything I could in my power to grow my business, right? I was still selling. I was still having parties. I was still talking and sponsoring. And so we got the opportunity to go to Star Director Summit Approach. That is where I met Tori. She was my roomie. And I grew a lot. I learned a lot. I had not been able to go to boot camp because of the pandemic. They had canceled boot camp. And so, we talked about our struggles. A lot of us had the same struggle. A lot of us had the same, questions and, like not setbacks, but like challenges, right? And so it was very positive to go in and meet this group of women. And we really build a very close, tight-knit sisterhood, right? That was in 2022. So come 2023, I went to North Carolina and I fell into the queue. I did not meet the director requirements for 3 months, and so I fell into the queue. And that was a little bit hard to swallow because I knew that once I was gonna kick that queue. I was gonna kick that queue, right? Because we have our goals and we know that we can achieve hard things. But I knew that once I kicked that queue, I was not going to be a star director. And so I came back, I kicked the queue with my team, right? We did it. And I did not get to go to Star Director Summit Approach that fall, but I did get to go to boot camp. And it was around the same time, about like a week or two difference. And I met some amazing women and men. We had one guy at that boot camp. And I remember standing exactly where I had stood a year before as a star director with my Star Director Summit Approach family. And looking out, just like I had looked the year before, and feeling just a tad bit discouraged, right? Because we are sitting there and we're thinking like, man, I was so close to like the top of the company, right? Or so close to meeting my goals. And I remember my roommate looking at me and saying, what's wrong? And I said, I just, for a second there, and she goes, Liz, I would not have met you if you would have kept your title, because you would have chosen to come to Star Director Summit Approach. And sorry, I get really emotional because I really feel like sometimes things happen because you have to meet people. And so our journey is our journey. Our journey is not meant to look like anybody else's. Maybe you have a leader, a star director, or superstar director that made it to the top of the company really fast. Or maybe you have someone that, you know, joined after you did, and man, they just promoted whoop, 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 like nothing, right? I remember sitting at a world tour. If any of you have heard of Danny Schwepp, I remember being at her first world tour. She looked scared. She was just sitting there like, what did I sign up for? And she promoted really fast. And I remember looking at her and being like, what am I doing wrong? Like, I've been doing this forever. But my journey wouldn't be my journey if I didn't live it, right? For some people, it becomes really fast, but I'm telling you, that when I tell you this, I'm being honest. They struggle with other things, right? It might look like, man, like it's effortless, but I guarantee you, because I have had talks with people that have, you know, grown really fast. I have had talks with people that have taken forever, or what seems like forever. We all struggle with something. What we cannot do is let those ups and downs, those even flows, those challenges keep us from stopping or keep us from going, right? If we quit, quitting is not going to get you any closer than pushing through and getting to that goal. And when you get to that goal, set a new one, because you are so worth it. You deserve everything that you set. And I think more than anything, right? We can sit here and we can talk to you guys about being paid at title consistently and all this stuff. It is getting up when we get down, when we fall off, dust it off. My son is in track. And one thing that I keep telling him is to look forward, look towards the finish line. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. Doesn't matter if the other racer is right behind you, if they're 5 feet apart, or if they're 5 feet in front of you, if they're right next to you. You look at that finish line, because that is your focus. So set those goals. Learn what you have to do to get to those goals. Follow up with that compensation plan. If you don't understand it, if you look at it and it's like, oh my gosh, it blows your mind, one step at a time. One step at a time. If you're a certified consultant today, look at LEAD. When you get to LEAD and you know what you need to get paid at title, look at STAR. And so far, if you're a star consultant or a superstar consultant and you're looking at director, focus on director. Focus on that one goal, and then learn it. Learn the what you need to do. Learn the why you have to do it. And then just go for it, because you deserve it. So I know that I've talked quite a bit today. So I hope that you got something from my training. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for allowing me to come and share with you guys, because that's one thing I love about Scentsy, is that we all get to be part of this big family and just share our experience. And I think that we learn so much more from those experiences than from anything else. So love you guys. I'm wishing you guys all the best. And I can't wait to hear from all the amazing people that are going to be talking in this training. Have a great night. Bye.